Alright, my friends, what's up? I'm back at it again with another fucking video. Today we're going to talk about KDE because I love KDE so much. It is my favorite desktop environment. It's just the best thing ever. Remember when they said that Wayland was the real, display server graphics stack protocol, whatever the fuck it is? Whatever they're calling it now. Anyways, so you got two fucking options with Wayland. You got KDE and you got GNOME because Hyperland doesn't even fucking count. That's how bad that shit is. But not that I got anything against Bexary or anything. I like Bexary, but goddamn, Hyperland sucks ass. So so I'm on KDE because GNOME is. I fucking hate GTK now because of their bullshit with flat packs not respecting the theme, and I had issues with XFCE where my GTK theme wasn't applying to certain applications, or I had to like keep switching back and forth in XFCE, but it worked on some distros but not other distros, and so I was like, fuck it. You know what, I'm gonna try KDE again, and holy shit, KDE is like the worst desktop environment I have ever used in my goddamn life. And I've been trying to get KDE working for like the last 10 fucking years, and it has just never been in a usable state for me. It has never been as like bug free as the competition. Uh, Even though this competition now only supports the X Windows server or whatever. So sorry, the Xorg whatever server, display server. Um but I was like, man, there's got to be some. Everyone says that KDE is like the best thing ever, so it's gotta. It must just be because I'm using Gen 2. Maybe it's because I'm using Gen 2. So I'm like, okay, I'll try Debian Stable. That one has KDE 5, so hopefully that will be a bit better off. And holy shit, I was wrong. So KDE 5 is like the buggiest thing you can ever use, especially if you're using a Wayland session. So I swear to God, like every button press I made resulted in some sort of bug. That's how bad this was. And then I would look up these bugs and they were all reported like months ago. So I was like, cool, maybe KDE 6 because somebody said KDE 6 fixes all these issues. So we'll try that. So I installed KDE 6 on, and I can't think of a distribution that ships it by default now. So I'm like, I could use Arch, but that's just asking for trouble. So I was like, you know what? I think OpenSUSE finally ships KDE 6. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let's try uh boom. So I'm on fucking Tumbleweed, and yeah, Tumbleweed. I've already talked about Tumbleweed. I hate Tumbleweed so much. Like, it's cool that it's a more stable rolling release. Oh, and I did switch from Void because Void, like, shit just stopped working at like as soon as I updated it, and it was fucking annoying. But Tumbleweed, I was like, oh, maybe it's supposed to be a more quote stable rolling release, even though I've had breakages on there before. And I'm not a huge fan of the maintainers, but whatever. Let bygones be bygones or some shit, whatever. Um, yeah, so I'm on Tumbleweed now, and it ships the X server by default. They haven't switched over to Wayland yet, which is cool. I'm like, cool, let me try the X session, and it's got some bugs, it's got some quirks, and I am now blinking on why was that? Why did I have to something? Oh yeah, I kept getting what? So I started playing like a WoW private server, and the X session was giving me in KDE specifically. It didn't do this on XFCE, but I kept getting interface errors. I was like, what the fuck is this interface error? And I'm like, you know what? Because this isn't an add-on error, it's a game error. I bet you it has something to do with my display server. So I switched over to the Wayland session, and yeah, it did fix that bug. But now I've got other bugs. So on the X session, like let's say I was using Discord or something, there would be like a black border all around the window. Um, if I had like a full screen application up or something. So the Wayland session fixed that, but now Alt Tab doesn't work correctly all the time. Like if I'm in a full screen application, Alt Tab, it oftentimes won't come up with the next window. It'll just go back to the game or something. So I'm dealing with that, but at least my Flatpaks now respect my theme, which was like the only thing that XFCE wasn't doing correctly. And for some reason it works on KDE, so whatever, you know. But I do kind of hate that like OpenSUSE is the only real option for KDE right now. I know that there's like Fedora, KDE Atomic, I think is the one. I don't know. Anyways, the Fedora's got some KDE thing going on, but I actually do like OpenSUSE's like bootloader and all that other stuff, you know, whatever it's doing. I don't mind it, you know. But it's obvious that they give a shit about their KDE, like as their flagship, even though SUSE only supports GNOME, but KDE is supposed to be like the flagship of OpenSUSE Tumbleweed, so that's cool that they got this shit working. Cause on Debian, if I were to switch to the X session, I would get a fucking seg fault on like every login. It was so annoying. Oh my god. And it would be like some stupid Qt splash thing or whatever. Like the splash screen would break every time, you know, and it would seg fault. But clearly KDE only gives a shit about their Wayland session now, so um, I gotta switch to that. I gotta try out Wayland and see how that goes. So I've got my games up and running now. I've got Guild Wars 2 and WoW running, so I can play my stupid boomer games. And yeah, everything's somewhat working well now. But to bitch about Zipper real quick, I've actually got two videos coming because I want to talk about YouTube and their bullshit. But Zipper, oh my god, I fucking did the Zipper install OPI codecs because that's the first thing you do on a OpenSUSE install is install the shit that they can't ship because they're in Germany. By the way, if you never knew that, Germany has stricter copyright laws than America, which is why people get kind of confused. They're like, wait, Germany's in Europe. Why do they have this copyright bullshit? I'm like, because Germany specifically is like the strictest copyright on the planet. I don't know what their issue is. I don't know why their government's like that, but whatever. So if you ever wonder why they don't ship codecs, that there is a reason for that. But anyway, that's off topic. So I tried to install the OPI codecs and it it made me hit yes like 20 fucking times. It just kept installing more and more shit. And by the time I actually got to the codecs, I was like, man, Fedora Fedora really had the better option, you know. So, but luckily, right now I'm not fucking around with packages too much yet, so I don't need like 100 different repositories for all like basic shit. You know, I'm just gonna fucking leave it as is. Hopefully, life will be better that way if I don't. Yeah, oh my god! But I'm using Flatpak for some stuff now. Like I always use OBS as a Flatpak no matter what distro I'm on because it's got good features. I use like Vencord as a Flatpak because it just comes by default or whatever. I don't bother with the native Discord package and curling the script or anything. I just let the Flatpak update. And I use Spotify as a Flatpak, I think. I know you shouldn't be using Spotify, but I do. Whatever. It's because I got my whole family on Spotify. Anyways, yeah. So I'm on OpenSUSE right now. I kind of hate it. I really don't like it, but it does work for the most part. You know. As far as I know, God forbid it's gonna fucking break in like the next 2 minutes. But for right now, it works. It fucking works. That's what the Windows users always say. They always say, "I love Windows. It just works." So here's OpenSUSE. It mostly works. Don't even get me started on Yast. Oh my god. But this video's gone on long enough. It's like 9 minutes now. So I'll see you later. Thanks.